A beef between the Crips and Bloods. Gunfire just steps away from two innocent young children at this car wash off 35th and Downing. It starts when the guy in white notices a group of rival gang members.
Some posturing going on, and just about in a split second, you're going to see.
Ain't nothing bigger than this strain. I work too hard to quit now.
He's loving, compassionate. He can get angry, but for the most part, he's family oriented.
Well, he's just real genuine, you feel me, as a person, you feel me, more the fact, shit, that nigga's just a rider.
JGAME, John, is a good person. He's a real good person. He's a hustler. He's a motivationer. He likes to go strong in the game.
Shit, when he in your presence, you feel that energy, especially he make that known regardless, but you feel me, but like just his energy when he in the room, you feel me, when y'all talk, you know what I'm saying, like shit, just politicking and shit, you feel me, like that nigga is just a positive, good vibe of energy, especially if you a buck, 100 with him, you feel me, the vibe is just, it's 100, he 100.
You can say the life of the party. He wants to be seen and heard, so he's gonna make sure by any means necessary that he does that.
He's a funny person. He likes to laugh and joke. He likes to just have that good energy.
We about to set the motherfucking 2017 right. It's a Young Life JGAME. Make sure you fuck with me because it's real. This how real it is. This how real it is. This how real it is.
Well-rounded. They all went to school together. Like I said, I've known him since the womb. My son and Fuzz are the same. Yeah, they're the same age. So they went to a couple grades together, and then their mom moved. You know, being away, just for a while I didn't get to see him because they took him from me. So I didn't get to see him for a long time, and then I saw him, and it's like, but it's just, you can see the anger in him more than you did when he was a child. I think that being away from his family in the group home may have been the biggest struggle for him.
Nigga done got robbed, stained, my nigga, double back on niggas and shit, like, you feel me? He didn't have a lot of hardships, bruh. That nigga used to be homeless, bruh.
Well, I've seen JGAME go through some things in the streets, you know, in prison as well, but he's overcame those things. You know, a lot of things I don't want to discuss on tape, but yeah.
See, people see the diamond, sacrifices being made. I put my dream before everything on my worst day. I remember getting nothing on my birthday. Everybody got their hand out, all you get is a handshake. I done cried 1,000 nights to make this happen for me. Shit, I done gambled with my life to make this happen for
me. He came to my house. His dad brought him to my house, and he was telling me I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. So, you know, I'll keep you. You know, I'll keep you. And I want to say he might have been like dancing or singing, him and the kids, and it just, you can see the joy on his face just for us to listen and to be amongst family.
I met this nigga while I was on the block, my nigga. I was just chilling, I was thugging and shit, you feel me? Like me, I used to ride bikes and shit and just be really out here acting and shit. But more the fact that he had pulled up in his Audi and shit, I'm on my bike and shit. He had pulled up on his Audi to go in the game store on 6th and Peoria and shit. And he was walking into this game store. He was like, what's up, little bro? I'm like, what's up, bro? You don't need no gas and shit? Trying to sell us some weed and shit. He like, nah, but come fuck with me and shit. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah. He was like, yeah, come to my car. I went to the nigga's car and shit. He was like, let me see what kind of weed you got. I was like, yeah, boom, showed him the little weed and shit. And he was like, well, give me all that shit, bro. And here, he had gave me like $200. I didn't even need 200, bro. I only had like, maybe like 6 grams type shit. My nigga ain't have nothing like that type shit. But he had gave me $200. Like, boom, my nigga, take my number and shit. I like you, little bro. My nigga, you a little hustler and shit. Boom. The next day, this nigga pull up again. He pull up in a different car this time. And I'm like, what the fuck type shit? What's buddy really on type shit? He's like, hey, yeah, bro, come fuck with me, my nigga. Where you stay at? So we could drop your bike off and shit. Yeah, went and dropped my bike off. Ever since that day, nigga, we was fucking with each other the long way.
I embrace it. I expect it because people is full of hatred. They looking phony, I'm seeing it in their faces. Cause I'm a panther on my way to war with Satan.
He want to be successful. Success is all he wants. And I think he's going to go for that. He's going to get it.
From what I see so far, he seems to be very dedicated to his music. He's put his mind to it and he's going forth with it, even in the position that he's in right now.
I won't vote for you faggots, I let you crackers have it. Assassinate my character like you did the last Panther. It's a cycle, vaccines is causing autism. And they gon' force it in your baby cause the doctor said it. I'm drinking heavily, dozing off the ecstasy.
This man, I'm just like really the only one that can vouch for it, you feel me? Like, shit, nigga, this nigga would not leave his house cause nigga, all his little spots and shit, he kept studios in there. He'll build his own studios and shit in there, bruh. Every single one, he made it just a mandatory. That's just what he wanted in one room. And he stayed by himself all the time, but that other room, he had a studio, bro. You just couldn't take him out of there. I'm talking about at least 9-10 hours out of each day. If he wasn't, bro, that nigga was sleeping, doing his own little thing and shit, but you feel me? But yeah, brother, he's just real dedicated to it, bro.
I seen the man wake up in the middle of the night with songs in his head, waking me up just to listen. So if that's not dedication, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Young life be the gang, bitch. I hear breaking niggas' necks. I ain't supposed to care what these niggas is saying about me. They sound crazy, oh well, I go my way about it. Ain't no way around it, they gon' talk about me. Look at it this way, at least I know they thought about me. Half of these niggas' names don't get noticed, and they end up broke, even though that they was...
In the studio, bro, it's just so live. He has so much so many ideas, or just some shit just to pop off, or just something to hit his head, nigga, he gonna hop right on it, or you know what I'm saying? Or he be like, let me write this shit down so I don't forget this shit. Like, that nigga just really dedicated, bro. Like, for real. Or that nigga stop for like 2 hours, bro, and go right back into the studio. You feel me? Or he's just real dedicated in the studio, bro. It's just a vibe in the studio, too. He's just lit. He's just energetic. You feel me? Like,
Jack, what we got rocking?
Man, we finna knock out some motherfucking bangers, bro. We do this shit every day, man. It's going down. Cash in this bitch, Jack, nigga, rehab, niggas going down.
Yikes!
Superstar material.
man, that nigga more than superstar material, my nigga. That nigga could really make it, bro. Really put the city on the map. You feel me? Niggas could really just, you know what I'm saying, really collaborate and really make something, bro. And he that type of nigga, bro. You feel me? To be honest.
Yes, but I also think that in that position, he needs a mentor that has already been through it. You see individuals who are confined, but you don't hear from them. But he's really pushing to get himself out there as far as, you know, his music and what he stands for.
I think he has a quality to him. A lot of times in the game, there's rappers that, just dull. I think he has a little spark to him.
Body got shot when them niggas start flexing. 38 up in the club with me.
This is a free call from
JGAME.
an inmate at Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office Detention Facility. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Members of two rival gangs opening fire right in the middle of this busy Denver car wash and right in front of kids.
2 people were killed. One of the gang members was sentenced.
Shit. My nigga TT Mac. Damn. I think when I met TT, it was a while ago. It was probably my early teenage years. Well, my mid-teenage years, and you know, we was going through group homes and shit, and I ended up meeting bros like that, and just a good nigga all the way around, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's from Mafias, and I'm from Inglewood family. I'm from Deuce 9, so automatic we clicked and shit. You know, we two light-skinned pretty boys and shit. I think I got into a situation and shit with some cats that was a bit bigger than me and shit. And bro's just a real nigga, and he ended up getting involved in shit and running the fade for me. You know, he's a true gladiator, you know, so, and then after that, it was just like, damn, you know, he didn't have to step in, but he did, and he didn't know me and shit from Adam from Eve, so, from that day forward, we was just hella close. He ended up beating his murder case and going home, so, when he get to the street, he do everything that he told me he was gonna do. You know, just being a real nigga, and bro, I'm gonna make sure it's money on the phone, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Mind you, I already had money, but he wouldn't let me spend my own money. He wanted to actually be there for a nigga, you know, so, I get out. I think my first day out of jail, it's like one of my best memories with my nigga and shit. My first day out, I jump in my Mercedes and shit. We all meet up at the movie theater and we go see Straight Outta Compton, because that was the movie that was out in 2015 and I really wanted to see it. So we all get out, or we all go and see Straight Outta Compton and shit. And after that, I think we went to the club or something. I think a month later, like right after bro's birthday, he gets into an altercation. In September 2015, he gets into an altercation with some Crips. It was just like, he like broke it down to me like damn bro, TT got shot, he ain't make it. I think low-key Loon was blaming himself, and you know, it wasn't his fault, you know, because this is Denver. This is what happens in Denver. And I think maybe even till today, Lil Loon blames himself, but that shit wasn't Lil Loon's fault, you know. This is Denver, and we gangbang out here, and this is what it is, nigga. Damn, and I was so mad because that day I was supposed to take this nigga to the studio with me, and I don't know, I don't remember if I was rushing or whatever the case may be, but I was supposed to go and pick bro up and bring him to the studio with me. And I feel like had I picked him up, that situation would have never occurred. So, in my eyes, the only way that I could continue to keep my nigga alive is through this music.
Let me tell you how these pimping and pandering investigations go, man. It's the Young Life JGAME, right?
Pinky's up, right?
Yeah, that nigga, but my nigga made a video about that shit, the sex offender little video and shit. Yeah, he tell you in that motherfucker everything. None of that shit is a lie, my nigga. Like, that shit is not no lie or none of that. Like,
right, let's talk about this situation.
See, I was 18, 19. Me and Walsh was growing bud, and it was that light green. We had the spot jumping, then this bitch came. Lied about her age, that's when them pigs came. Let me keep it honest, she was a prostitute. It wasn't my hoe, but I'm just telling you. Look at the paperwork, go and ask the victim. Truth is, I'm the only real victim. Bitch lied about her age, and I'm in trouble for it. And I ain't even fucking, I ain't even touching. She said Walsh pimped her out, I don't believe it. And I ain't no fucking snitch, so I ain't finna leak shit.
Back in 2012, I was actually under investigation for a couple years before that for a crime involving a young prostitute. I actually wasn't involved in her case that she was caught up for, but the police had asked her if she knew any other pimps and she said my name and somebody else's name after she got in a prostitution sting and told on her actual pimp. Later on, I think like 3 weeks later, after that, in 2012, the police kicked down my door and arrested me. They ended up giving me this bogus deal, and I had to go through a whole bunch of appeals and to get it off my record, and it was just crazy. I was kicking it with some dude. He was actually a friend of mine, and I don't exactly remember how we got into it. It was over some bitch though. He was mad about some broad. I don't know. Somehow I ended up with the broad or whatever, and we get into an altercation and shit. He's tripping about the chick. I'm like, bro, you can have a bitch. You know what I'm saying? My personality is just that way though. I'm not really tripping on no females. I stopped talking to the nigga for like 3 weeks, and out the blue, this nigga just like blasts like my case all over the internet, like all over Facebook, all over Instagram and social media and shit, and everybody's like inboxing me like, are you for real? Is this true? Sometimes motherfuckers will just hear what they want to hear, and at that point they was listening to him rather than wanting to hear me. So
to the fact like, when that nigga was going through that shit, I didn't even know him, and he had to show me why that shit was a lie. He had to show me like that shit was to, you know what I'm saying, the nigga being to the neck, not telling, keeping his stitch lip. You feel me? How you supposed to be, my nigga. Like,
I think about 3 days in, I had ended up writing a song and shit. My partners came to the house and they like, bro, what you want to do? We'll handle this however you want to handle it. And I was just like, nah, nigga, we ain't gonna take it there. I got a different plan. So I made a plan. I ended up getting his homeboy's baby mom to get in the video and shit. And then we recorded the sex offender disc, basically explaining my situation, how really things wasn't really my fault. I just got caught in between a rock and a hard place, and I didn't have a way to get out because I was keeping it real. I was being a real nigga by not telling, you know what I'm saying, on somebody else, which I had nothing to do. I didn't even know what they was doing in the first place, so there was nothing to tell about.
Shit, nigga, I mean, shit, I don't even like talking about this shit. I didn't have to whoop a nigga because nigga was talking about my nigga like that, bro. For real, for real.
This right here for niggas that's divas. You don't like me, I don't like you either. We ain't got a Porsche, he ain't even got a Beamer. Said he had beef, so I went to go see it. Said he'll smack me, I ain't get smacked.
I actually ended up buying a verse from the nigga. My nigga Dante, rest in peace Dante, he actually passed away. He overdosed not too long ago. But he introduced me to Trev Rich. We met up or whatever. I paid him some money. I think he told me the song was going to be done, and by the weekend time it wasn't done. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it another couple days. I ended up giving it a week, and I hit him like, hey bro, what's up? He's like, yeah, I'm working on it or whatever. He just keep brushing me to the side and shit. Just, you know, I took it as all maybe the nigga's busy and shit. He's popping right now in the city, blah, 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 blah. Then I guess I called the nigga. I think the nigga told me like, nigga, I ain't doing no feature with you and something, and when I see you, I'ma smack you or some shit. Like, what? You know, we get into an argument or whatever. We end up pulling up to the club, I think like 3 or 4 days later, to see this nigga, to see what's happening. But we pull up to the Epernay or whatever, them niggas end up pulling up, you know. We get into it, I'm confronting nigga, where the money at, nigga? It's fucking police and security all over the fucking place and shit. Some shit happens, I don't know, man. They say they place of business got shot up or whatever, man. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. Some got shot up, I don't know. You know, the shit didn't have nothing to do with me though. The nigga ended up sending me the song and shit with his verse on it. But I'm like, nigga, I don't want this shit. This shit done, the beef been all over social media and shit. So I'm like, nigga, fuck this beef, nigga. Or fuck this song, nigga. Fuck all this shit. So I figured in my mind I was gonna get the recognition I deserved regardless and shit. And I can't drop no song with a nigga that I done sat here and funked with all out in public and shit. So shit. shit, I just hit the Trev Rich dish, man, repo, and then I hit the Trev Rich dish ether. And from there, it was like, you know, it was all the way up for me. After that, the fucking DJs, none of these niggas wanted to play my music in the club, so it was like, nigga, fuck y'all niggas. So I dissed all the Denver DJs too, like, you know. But that was me being childish and shit, you know.
But I ain't even gonna cap. That nigga is, boy. I mean, that shit just hold weight. You feel me? It do hold weight, but it's just more the fact of shit. I mean, that's my partner. Anybody tripping with my nigga, bro, it's up with me too. You feel me? So I don't give a fuck about none of that, but it's just more of the fact I know what that shit kind of bring with that shit. You feel me? Just because that is my best friend. I know how that nigga be, my nigga, especially with that rap beef and all the shit. Yeah, niggas will tell you how I was. You feel me? Like, more of the fact that, like, nigga, I was TTG out here just because of the fact that just how he was, and I knew what came with that shit. You feel me? More of the fact, but that's my nigga, so nigga would come with him, nigga. I know what it come with me because that's my partner, but shit, nigga, but niggas is hoes anyway. Like, nigga, the rap beef my nigga was going through, niggas is hoes. You feel me? So
a lot done changed since then, but that's just what I was on back then and shit. I think partly because, you know, I lost my nigga. Just a bunch of shit was happening around that time that had my mind fucked up, and it was kind of like, nigga, it's me against the world, and anybody could get it. At that time, that's how I felt.
He's learned you can get more bees with honey than you can vinegar. I've seen him go from 0 to 100 and be angry, but now I've seen him not so angry, but he's learned some coping mechanisms to diffuse his anger. I don't get to talk to him often now, but when I do, he's always, you know, overjoyed and excited to talk to us. So he still has room for growth, just like anybody else does.
He was fast. He liked to think fast and move fast. And I seen him pace himself and be patient. And that alone allowed him to grow.
And she don't want nothing from me, and she could provide everything that I need. Just know that in this game that it gets lonely.
To the studio every day, which is why I've been able to continue to drop music for the past 3 years, because I went to the studio every day. That's like my religion right there. That's like church for me. So I ended up going to the police, they didn't kick down my door. They sent the pizza man to knock on my door, and I refused to answer the door. Like, what? I didn't order a pizza. That led up to me getting arrested. When I'm thinking that Denver's about to come pick me up and take me back to Colorado, and it's the federal marshals taking me to the feds. And while sitting in the feds, I met a lot of good niggas. It's crazy because the only person that I knew from Denver was King.
Yeah, we had a ball. It wasn't like a normal relationship with a cellmate. You know, it was different. We had a ball. We got a good time. We had a good time, man.
But I had a strong support system. You know what I'm saying? From Monica and Lil P, my nigga Loso, Showcase, Shawnee, Langston, my mom, my sisters and brothers, you know, they was there for the most part. So people kept telling me, older cats in the feds would be like, you know, them motherfuckers ain't there for you. They ain't your homies, them ain't your friends, and whoop-de-whoop-whoop. So I started weeding out the fake motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, and getting them out of my circle. You know what I'm saying? So my circle ended up being as small as a dime. You know what I'm saying? So I can almost count on one hand all the people that's in my circle right now, because the older cats kind of led me in the right direction. I think one night I was in the cell with King and shit, and he was just basically telling me like, man, fuck all them motherfuckers, man. All you need to do is look in that mirror and focus on that man in the mirror. So I think after that day, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get on my shit and I'm gonna make things happen the way I need to for myself. And that's when I started to able to plan and releasing the music because I was all fucked up in the head and shit. So I ended up doing an album with Interstate Ike while I was locked up from shit that I already had pre-recorded on the street when I went on the run. I ended up meeting a lot of people out of Pahrump, Nevada that was in the feds that was real reputable niggas. You know, when you go to the feds, it's like you meet the niggas. You know, you ain't just meeting the little penny pinchers in the street, you know, that you would meet in normal state prison. You're meeting them dudes. So throughout my sentence, it was just like people were showing me the route, you know, how to make a plan, how to solidify myself. You know, as a man, I felt like a boy before I went to prison. Now I feel like a man. I got a plan. I got a routine. You know, I know what I'm doing.
Of course. I think it would change anyone when you go to a cage and be taken away from your family and friends and your goals put on hold, you know?
I love you. And keep reaching beyond the moon and the stars because it's out there for you.
Stay humble, be patient. Let God lead you, bro. Stay away from them knockoff niggas. Don't ever fake, don't ever cap, keep it real 100.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
My nigga, he know what it is. I can't wait till my nigga get back. He know what it is. It's to the neck, nigga. It's up. Young life be the gang, nigga. He know what it is, bruh. Yeah.
Man, I miss my nigga Sergio. TT Mac, he was really real. And if I could give up anything just to have my brother back, I'd do it, cause that's how I feel. Riding till the wheels fall off. I ain't got a job, I ain't got a call off. If you got beef, I could get you knocked off. All that tough talk, and you niggas too soft. I'ma get it how I live. Yeah, fuck how you niggas feel. Yeah, my top down like JFK. They wanna do me JFK. But it's whatever, nigga. My homie got a brain injury, and it's killing me. And I know that shit is hurting him. Man, because it's hurting me. Never thought I had to see him like that, no.